So in this video series here, guys, we're just starting to learn the bike, knowing more about the bike. I've been reading a lot of articles about this motorcycle, and there are a lot of positive feedback from other people in the internet. So, alright guys, welcome back to our new episode. And tonight, just came from work and just gonna go for a quick ride with my Harley Davidson motorcycle. It's an XG 500cc. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Jake. I'd like to welcome you all in this new episode. So tonight what we're gonna be doing is I've tried my new setup for my helmet microphone lavalier. So in our early videos, we've tried the wireless Go 2. I'm not really happy with the results because the exhaust actually overpowers my voice. So now we have this Rode lavalier mic, and yeah, it's just a test, and hopefully things will turn okay in terms of the sound. I just stole the engine. Yeah, I was saying we need to have a quick look if it's working pretty well, and if it is, we're gonna stick with this setup. So I have my visor up at the moment. So we've got the visor up, and yeah, we're cruising. So we're here in our local area in Ballina, New South Wales, guys. So I have set my GoPro setting as well for night mode. So this is 3200 Kelvin for my white balance. It's 24 frames per second, and it's shoot in 4K. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. We'll review the footage after this, and hopefully the audio quality is good, because that's what I'm really after. A good quality of audio. Not so much with the video quality, but it's the audio quality, because I want to listen to my motorcycle exhaust, and it's a great deal for me to actually, you know, make a good quality video for you guys and to review our Harley Davidson motorcycle. So far we've got this motorcycle for at least 2 weeks, and we've also had our L license, the learner's license, for 2 weeks. Last week I got it, so it's just a week old. So with new riders like me, so I just have my visor off. So for new riders, you have to make sure you need to look after or drive safely. You don't overspeed, because you're gonna lose your license. You only have one chance, and if you lose your license, that's it, that's the end. So yeah, we will try to stick on the speed limits and to abide the traffic rules. So what I've done with my microphone setup is I put tapes around it, around the helmet, which I will be happy to share with you and to give you some tips and tricks on how I did my helmet setup with my microphone. It's currently 6:22 in the evening. It's getting dark, but yeah, it's still early. It's 6:22. And I just want to go and check the tire pressure for our bike, guys, because I'm not really happy with the handling. For me, I wanted to put at least 32 on the front and 40 on the back. So that's the specifications by Harley, but this is not an original tires anymore, so we don't have to follow the guidelines from Harley. Just make sure when inflating your tires that you are comfortable. Yeah, it feels odd. I think the tires are a bit soft, so we'll just have to check the tire inflation, because I'm not really sure about that. I think I only have at least 20 psi on that front tire, which is not really ideal, so I'm not speeding up because I don't want any accident to happen. But this guy following me is really annoying, so I'm just gonna close that visor completely. And yeah, we're gonna stay on the slow lane. Alright, just keeping it safe, guys. We don't want to annoy this car. Just want to stay on the slow lane. I'm just hoping that this setup is really good, because this is the least or the best that I can do to have this beautiful setup with my microphone for our motovlogging videos. So once I get the sweet spot, then we'll keep it. The only issue I had with the wireless setup is it actually the exhaust actually overpowers my voice to the extent that I can't hear my voice anymore. So we've got these cars in front of us just changing lanes. So when you change lane, guys, just make sure you do your head checks. Shoulder checks and head checks is what I learned from the driving lessons and the riding test that we did a few weeks ago. It's very important to check your blind spots, and do not stay on the car's blind spots. That's very important. And the thing that really concerns me is the intersections. So where you're on intersections or roundabouts like this, you gotta be very careful, because these cars can hit you and you don't want to drop your bike or have an accident. So I'm just driving really slow, checking the blind spot, because I need to check my tires here. Yeah, the handling just feels off. It's odd, like it's difficult to maneuver. Hopefully they have tire pressure gauges here, which is accurate. I hope, because most of the service stations, their air gauge are not accurate. So we're gonna find where it is. I don't think they have one here. I think they have one there. So let's go there and check the tire pressures. Water and air. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully this one works. Alright, I'm just gonna keep the engine on while talking to the camera, because I really want to make sure that you can hear me well while we are testing this audio setup. Okay, so it says 32, which is fine. Let's grab this one. I actually haven't used this one for a motorbike, but this is gonna be the first time. Actually, I might have to switch this off and let you know how I go. Alright, it's too loud. I feel like I'm screaming. Okay, so hopefully my GoPro is recording. Okay, it's very difficult, this angle. It's a bit hard. Should be fine. Alright. The pressure is just 17, guys, that's why. So now we're up to 26. That's 31. That's too much. 33, 30. Yeah, that should be fine. That's 32. It's really surprising, guys. You know what? Back in the Philippines, if we inflate the tires, we spit on our finger, put the saliva in that valve to see if there's any bubbles. Because if there's any bubbles appearing, that means that you have leaking on your valve. And in this occasion, we don't have any leaking, so that's good. Alright, so this one is very challenging. How can I put air here? Where is this one? This is gonna be very difficult. Not sure how to. Yeah, because that one should be 40. 40. Then we'll check. Ouch. But this is a bit hard. Oh, we can actually fold this tube here. But you need to move the bag a bit backwards so we can access this. Alright. Where is it now? Yep. Okay, I'll continue doing this, guys, then I'll update you. Just gonna turn the GoPro off to save some battery. Just wanna show you guys. That's the fish that we caught when we were fishing, and that was a few years back now. I really miss fishing. I didn't have the time to go out fishing because of work, and you know, but definitely we're gonna go back fishing soon. Okay, so what we'll do now is we're gonna put some petrol here on the bike. We have just finished inflating the tires, and now don't know what I'm doing here. That's really hard to maneuver this bike. Guys, I know this bike is pretty heavy, especially for beginners. So we're just gonna switch this on, get some petrol. Just gonna find a good spot. Maybe this one here. Alright, so we'll grab the Supreme for our lovely bike. She deserves something special, so we're gonna grab the 98 octane. So how you open this, I've seen a lot of videos online, but they are not doing the right thing when they try to put petrol on their Harley Davidson bikes. So what you will do is put the key there, just twist it clockwise, make sure you don't lose the cap. We'll put it here somewhere safe, and hopefully it's not gonna roll out. Now we'll grab this 98 Supreme, pop that in there. Just be careful when you're trying to squeeze that it's not gonna overflow, and we don't want to do that. So it's a 13 point something liter capacity, guys, so you don't need much petrol. It's actually very efficient, this motorbike, although it has a big engine, 500cc, but the mileage is, I think, nearly 300 to 350 kilometers for the full tank. So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that should be right. So how much is that one? It's 5.4 liters, which is $9. Come on, $9 is good. Alright, so time to put back our cap. So if you notice this arrow right here, I hope you can see that. You need to make sure that it's leveled to this gap here. Just put it like so, and then just push it downwards, not forwards. So once you're sure it's locked in there, just put it downwards, and you can hear the click, and then just take your keys off. It's not gonna go anywhere. We're just gonna take our gloves and pay for this petrol. So it's number, what number is this one? Number 5. Okay, let's do this. Number 5. Okay, so we have petrol, and this is how I monitor my GoPro, guys. Instead of looking at the camera all the time, I have my GoPro quick app here, so I can see that it's recording. It's recording, and I can also preview that. Let me just check. So I've just checked in our GoPro quick app. We're still good. We're recording, and just using my phone. So far, guys, I'm pretty happy with the outcome of the lavalier mic setup. So I think we might have to stick with this setup, and we have found the sweet spot. Turning on the engine. So if you wonder what sort of exhaust I'm using, it's the aftermarket SNS, and I bought the bike with that aftermarket exhaust already installed in there. So when you start your bike, make sure you actually put the stand up on the up position, otherwise you're gonna have an accident. So that's one common mistake that the new bikers actually do. So we're just on the first gear, just cruising along, and yeah, safe. So I still have my visor up. I'm not sure with the wind quality, with the quality of the audio, I'm not sure if it's actually gonna affect the overall sound of the video. So I'm just testing the visor up, visor midway, and visor down. So we will know what the difference is, and then we will stick to the setup. So if it's not creating a lot of wind noise on the visor halfway, then maybe we'll keep it. So with the front tire now properly inflated with 32 psi air, I can say that it's handling pretty well. I have good control actually. Very good control, and I can see that the bike is more stable compared earlier. So I wasn't able to put any air on the rear wheel because it's very hard. I can't reach it. The valve is actually unable to be reached, and yeah, because this bike has small wheels, I can't put air. So I should use something smaller, but I don't know where to find them. Maybe in Shell service station. I'm pretty sure they use shorter tip of their air compressors. So where I work in Byron Bay, there's a service station in front of our facility, so maybe we can use that. And I'm actually thinking of riding my bike to work tomorrow. So before I forget, I just wanna change the trip meter, so I'm just gonna put that to 0. So because this bike actually doesn't have a fuel gauge, that's one of the things that I don't like about this bike. It doesn't have the fuel gauge, so you will know if you are still okay to travel quite long distances, or you're gonna be empty soon with your petrol. So I experienced that this actually has a low fuel gauge or indicator or detector. When I was riding this bike before, I think 6 days ago, it actually said here LF in the gauge. So I just found out that LF means low fuel. I just found it and I said to myself, LF, maybe that's low fuel. So we're just changing lane. Make sure you do your indicator. So this is our cell in Balena, guys. If you haven't been here, you need to try the food here. Let's actually see if we can go this way. I'm just gonna show you the RSL club. And some tips, if you are into fishing, this is a good spot here, fishing spot. So this is the RSL jetty here in Balena. So if you could keep walking there to your left, that's the jetty right there. And that's how I actually started to learn how to catch a fish. We just caught little breams, small breams. So we're just gonna turn left here and keep going. That was close. I thought he didn't see me coming, but that's like what I've said to you. Just gonna be careful. If you are on the right way, don't assume that you have the right of way, because there are drivers who are like that. They're very careless and they just don't care, and sometimes it's unintentional and they can't see you, especially during the night. So good thing we just took it very slow. So in this video series here, guys, we're just starting to learn the bike, knowing more about the bike. I've been reading a lot of articles about this motorcycle, and there are a lot of positive feedback from other people in the internet. So although we can't avoid that there's gonna be a lot of negative feedback. They said this is crap motorcycle by Harley, and they've actually stopped manufacturing this model. But I don't think so, because this is a nice motorcycle, nice engine for someone who is a beginner and who's trying to learn how to drive a motorcycle. That doesn't worry me, because I can ride a bike, I can ride bigger motorcycles, but in my entire life in the Philippines before, I have been riding a lot of motorcycles, but most of the motorcycles back home, they're just 125cc or 100cc. 500 is quite big already. But here, because we're in a first world country, if you don't ride a Ducati, you're gonna ride a motorcycle with a brand of Harley Davidson or Kawasaki Ninja 1000cc, the Yamaha. You know, there's so many brands of motorcycles out there, and all of them are really good. It just depends on the type of a rider you are, how often you use the bike, and what's the use for your bike. If you're into dirt riding, which I really love, you can get the dirt riding motorbikes as well. So I'm not sure, guys, if you can let me know in the comment section below. As you know, I have a very loud, not very loud, but quite loud exhaust, and I am still on my learner's license. I'm not sure if this is illegal here in Australia. Can you please let me know? I would really appreciate all your comments. And you know, this is a community where we can improve everyone's driving abilities and knowledge as well. So I decided to create this YouTube video to share with you my knowledge about motorcycles and the things that I have found out in my research and all of the things like that. Hopefully you would appreciate that, because I've done the research, so you don't have to do it. So you just have to watch the videos. Hopefully you enjoy them. And again, if you're asking about the settings of this video, this is actually my night setting. So I don't use any ND filter during the night, simply because it's already dark and you don't want to make your videos more darker. So we're approaching the Missingham Bridge here in Ballina. Just gonna pick up a bit of my speed, then slow down at this roundabout. So what was I saying? Yeah, so the setup is I have my white balance to 3200, ISO minimum 100, maximum to 800, and I have it on 24 frames per second. So the shutter speed should be twice of your frames per second, so which is 1/48. I wish there's more lighting in here in this area, so I can show you more of, you know, beautiful places here. But anyway, that's fine. This is a night motorcycle riding episode, so you will expect that it's gonna be, you know, more of a dark video. No. Alright, so we still have the visor on. I'm just trying if it's gonna create a lot of wind noise, but so far so good, guys. I have just put a dead cat on my microphone just to get rid of the wind noise, and I have my visor halfway open, so we still have actually some sort of wind coming into our helmet. I really love cruising like this, you know, we're not in a hurry, just trying to relieve stress from work. Because if you don't know, by trade I'm a registered nurse in an aged care facility here, and yeah, it's pretty stressful because I actually manage aged care facility. So it's mental, it's really mental. So if you're suffering from any stress, any mental breakdowns, just ride your bike. Just like today, I have a staff member. She was crying because she can't cope with the type of work. She was doing some admin work and she's not coping. I feel for her because it's hard, this work, you know, especially in aged care. It's really hard, and you have all the complaints, and yeah, you need to abide by the standards given by the commission. So if you're here in Australia, you will understand what I'm talking about. The standards of aged care is really strict, and we have to abide by the law. It's the law. So if there's any elderly abuse of any sorts, so that's your financial abuse, neglect, psychological abuse, excessive use of force, those are all SIRS, or Serious Incident Reporting Scheme. so that has to be reported to the commission. So what I do as a manager is I make sure I communicate everything to my staff, so they need to be educated as well. They need to know what SIRS is, what they need to know what are reportable incidents, so we can avoid that. Just like, for example, someone falls from their room. For example, that's a 98-year-old resident, and they fell from their bed, and then in their functional assessment it says this resident actually needs to have a bed sensor on their beds. Then if the bed sensor is not turned on, you can report that as neglect, which is a reportable incident to the commission. So straight away, it's, you know, if the resident sustained any fractures or anything like that, it has to be reported as a SIRS priority 1. So it's really complicated, guys, this aged care business. But if you want to learn more about aged care, let me know. Drop some comments in our comment section, and I'll definitely explain them to you. If you have any family members who are looking for aged care placements, you can ask me questions and maybe I could help you. So that's about my work, guys, just to give you some understanding on what I do for a living. I'm a registered nurse and I'm a facility manager for aged care. That's not an easy job, I tell you. That's why I really want to ride my motorcycle. It's just hard to ride at night, but I have no choice. That's the only free time I've got, and I have to maximize it. A few days ago I have adjusted my headlights because it's actually very dark and I can't see anything on the road if I'm driving at night. So what I've done is I have adjusted the headlights. It's a bit tricky, but if you want to learn how to adjust that, let me know. I can talk you through or share with you how to do that adjustments. Okay, just being careful here. So the moment you see cars entering the roundabout, you need to give them the right of way, because sometimes they just don't see you and they're gonna hit you pretty hard. Being a motorcycle driver, it has taught me to be a defensive driver, because we are small and we don't have any protection. Even a small stone on the road you can hit and it will make you roll on the ground. And with that, you really have to be aware of your surroundings, see what's the hazard in front of you, on your side, on your blind spots. There's a lot of things to learn and understand when driving a motorcycle. When you have a bike, it doesn't give you the permission or the authority to just drive it like that in a careless way. You really need to know the bike. You need to control the clutch, and you know, with slow movements, not abrupt, and it's dangerous. It's just that there's a lot of things to learn when you're riding a bike. And most of the motorcycles are manual that I have driven. It has different controls compared to the automatic ones. So we have been driving for around 30 minutes now, just around our community here. And I'm really happy with this system that I've got. It's the GoPro Hero 10 that I'm using, and during the day I put ND filters, but I haven't done that yet. Hopefully we can do that on the weekend. Yeah. So we're approaching the Balena Fair here. So we've got Big W, we've got Kmart, we've got Kohl's. My helmet is fogging. Let me fix this, because I can't see anything. Just gonna fix it here, guys. Otherwise we can't see anything here. Just fix my helmet. Whew. All right, that's better. I can see clearly now. There's many people coming in this gym. It's the Jets 24 hours fitness. With a busy lifestyle of our fellow Australians, they often go to the gym during the night, or sometimes early in the morning, as early as 4 o'clock. How can you do that? All right. Okay, we're ready. Just gonna drive around here. This is the drive-through Zafara's Coffee. I haven't tried their coffee here, but I think they have nice coffee, and this is where I normally get my petrol from. This is Ample here in Balena. They're pretty good too, and they're cheap. Ouch. Balena Bayside. Alrighty. .06. So we left home around 6:20. I just position here in the center because sometimes this traffic light doesn't detect me as a motorcycle rider if I'm on the side of the road. the last few days it was raining with very strong gush of wind, and we haven't actually ridden our motorbike. And now that the weather is good, we'll take advantage, we'll take the opportunity to ride our bike. Woo, such a nice feeling, guys, to be riding your bicycle. No, not your bicycle, to be riding your motorbike. So with these intersections here, I just want to position myself in the middle, because if you're on the left hand side, you have to mind the traffic, the parked cars, which is so much stimuli. I hope the wind is not too bad, because I put my visor halfway. So where are we going? Okay, let's turn here. This is another motorcycle shop here somewhere. We've went past it. Maybe on the weekend I'll visit the apparel store to get some jackets or motorcycle pants. So I'm just checking the right. There's nothing much going on in here. Just gonna turn right. What I don't like riding at night is, you know, when you're on the highway, on the motorway, and there's too many cars, and it's like 100 kilometers per hour. For me, it's just too much if you're riding during the night, and I have problems with my eyes and I can't see really well during night time. That's why I have my glasses on. So I just position myself there. So when that red arrow goes off, turns off, I can go, but I need to be careful of the approaching vehicles. In our next videos, I'm going to be sharing with you the basics of riding a motorcycle, traffic rules, and I just want to share what I have learned from our riders learning classes.